The first day Lena Hart walked into Ridgewood High, the hallway felt louder than usual. Not because she could hear it, but because she could feel it. Students whispered. Some stared. Some laughed quietly. Lena couldn't hear a single word, but she could read their lips. Is she really deaf? Why did they transfer her here? She looked so quiet. Lena kept her eyes on the floor and walked to class. New schools were never easy, and being deaf made everything harder. She sat in the back corner of the classroom and placed her notebook neatly on the desk. The teacher spoke slowly so she could read his lips. Most students were curious, some were kind, but one person made it clear from the beginning that he wanted nothing to do with her. Kai Rivers, the most popular boy in the school. Tall, calm, cold, captain of the basketball team. The boy every girl admired, and the one person who seemed to dislike Lena the most. During class, the teacher asked Lena to introduce herself. She stood up slowly. Before she could begin signing her name, someone from the back whispered loudly, "Can she even talk?" Laughter spread across the room. Lena froze. Then suddenly, a chair scraped loudly across the floor. Kai stood up. Everyone expected him to defend her. Instead, he said coldly, "Why did they even admit someone who can't communicate?" The room went silent. Lena felt the words without hearing them. She read his lips clearly. And her chest tightened. Slowly, she sat down. That moment became the beginning of everything. From that day forward, Kai treated her like she didn't exist. If she walked into the library, he left. If she tried to sit near him in class, he moved his chair. One afternoon during lunch, Lena accidentally bumped into him. Her books fell to the floor. Instead of helping, Kai stepped over them and walked away. Everyone saw it. Wow, he really hates her. Lena believed it too. She told herself it didn't matter, but every night she replayed those moments in her mind. Why did he hate her so much? She had never done anything to him. Then something strange began happening. Small incidents, odd accidents, things that didn't make sense. One evening, while leaving school, Lena walked through the empty parking lot. Suddenly, a motorcycle sped past her dangerously close. Before she could react, a hand pulled her sharply back. She stumbled into someone's chest. When she looked up, it was Kai. His face was serious. For a second, their eyes locked. Then he pushed her away roughly and walked off like nothing had happened. Lena stood there confused. Why would he save her? And then act like he didn't care? Days later, another strange incident happened. In chemistry class, Lena reached for a beaker. Suddenly, Kai slammed his hand down on the table. The beaker shattered before she could touch it. Students gasped. The teacher yelled, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" Kai didn't answer. He only stared at Lena for a moment, then walked out of class. Later that day, the teacher discovered something terrifying. The beaker contained a dangerous chemical mixture that could have burned Lena's skin. Nobody knew how it got there, except Kai. Lena started noticing a pattern. Every time something dangerous happened, Kai appeared. But he never explained why, and he always acted cold afterward. One rainy afternoon, Lena stayed late at school to finish homework. The building was nearly empty. As she walked down the hallway, she noticed two older boys following her. She quickened her steps. They followed. Her heart started racing. Suddenly, someone stepped between them. Kai. His expression was darker than she had ever seen. He said something to the boys. Lena couldn't read their lips from where she stood, but she saw the fear on their faces. Within seconds, they left. Kai didn't look at her. He simply walked away again. Lena was tired of the confusion. The next day, she waited outside the gym. When Kai came out, she stepped in front of him. He tried to walk past, but she grabbed his arm. He stopped. Lena pulled out her phone and typed quickly, then held the screen up. "Why do you hate me?" Kai looked at the message. For a moment, something changed in his eyes. Pain. But it disappeared instantly. He typed a reply on her phone and handed it back. "Because you're trouble." Then he walked away, leaving Lena standing in the empty hallway. Weeks passed, and the strange accidents continued. A locker door suddenly fell. A stair railing loosened. A car nearly hit her outside school. Each time, Kai appeared just in time. But he was always cold, always distant. Then one night, everything changed. Lena returned home and found the front door slightly open. Her heart dropped. She stepped inside slowly. The living room was a mess. drawers pulled out, or papers scattered everywhere. Someone had been searching for something. Suddenly, she heard a movement behind her. She turned. A man in a black jacket stepped forward. Lena froze. She couldn't hear him speak, but she saw his lips clearly. "Where is the file your father left you?" Her mind went blank. File? What file? The man grabbed her arm. Before she could react, the front door burst open. Kai rushed inside. The man turned, and within seconds, the two were fighting. Lena watched in shock. Kai moved like he had done this before. Eventually, the man ran out the back door. Kai didn't chase him. He turned to Lena, breathing heavily. For the first time since they met, his voice was soft. Even though she couldn't hear it, she read his lips. "Are you okay?" Tears filled Lena's eyes. She nodded slowly, her hands trembling as she typed on her phone again. "What is happening?" Kai looked at the message, then at her, like he had been avoiding this moment for a long time. Finally, Osanki told the truth. He typed slowly on her phone. "Your father didn't just leave you a house." Lena frowned. "He left you his company." Her eyes widened. "A multi-billion-dollar company." Lena shook her head. That couldn't be true. Her father had always told her he worked a simple job. Kai typed again. "Your father hid the truth to protect you." Her hands began to shake. Kai continued carefully. "Before he died, he asked my father for help." Lena looked up, confused. Kai took a deep breath and typed the final message. "My father asked me to protect you." Everything suddenly made sense. The accidents, the cold attitude, the constant distance. Kai wasn't trying to hurt her. He was trying to protect her without anyone knowing. Lena stared at him as tears rolled down her cheeks. She typed slowly. "All this time, you were protecting me?" Kai nodded, his expression softening. "For 3 years." 3 years. He had watched over her for 3 years. Pretending to hate her, so no one would suspect anything. Lena typed another message. "Then why treat me so badly?" Kai hesitated before answering honestly. "If people thought I cared about you, they would target you faster." Silence filled the room. For the first time, Lena saw the real Kai. Not the cold boy everyone feared, but someone who had quietly protected her life every single day. But the truth wasn't over yet. Kai typed one more message and showed it to her. The man tonight wasn't working alone. Lena's stomach tightened. "Someone inside your school is helping them." Her eyes widened. "Someone at school wanted to hurt her?" Kai nodded. "That's why I stayed close, but distant." The next day at school felt different. Lena watched everyone carefully. Every smile, every whisper, every glance. Anyone could be involved. But now she knew one thing for sure. Kai was on her side, even if the whole world misunderstood him. Days later, the truth finally exploded. The person helping the criminals was revealed. And it was someone nobody expected. The vice principal. He had been leaking Lena's information to criminals trying to gain control of her father's company. The police arrested him at school while students watched in shock. News spread everywhere, and suddenly, everyone started looking at Kai differently. The bad boy, who hated Lena, was actually the one who had saved her life over and over again. A week later, Lena waited for Kai outside the basketball court. When he arrived, she smiled. He looked surprised. She handed him a small notebook. Inside, she had written something. Kai read it slowly. "Thank you for protecting me." Below it were a few more words. "But you don't have to pretend to hate me anymore." Kai looked up, and for the first time since they met, he smiled. A real smile. Months later, the story became a legend in Ridgewood High. The bad boy, who secretly protected the deaf girl. The girl who inherited a hidden empire. And the love that grew from the most unexpected place. But to Lena, Kai was never the bad boy. He was simply the person who stayed beside her, even when nobody knew the truth. Do you think Kai was right to pretend he hated Lena to protect her? Or should he have told her the truth from the beginning?